We are all here in the temple because we renovated, and I would like to welcome the goddess to their new abode. So it's why we are going to do this small ceremony. And first, we are going to sing a mantra that is for healing.
And her legs are like the roots. So I felt very impressed to touch her because I felt very near the nature and was my spirit. I would like to hear if someone has.
I had two.
Okay, them.
One, the things that I do not remember which one just from here to pointing at it, but it's one that has her hand on the side and something else, and I think it's sitting on a bull. It's one of them is sitting.
Do you remember?
I don't remember exactly. I mean, at which of the ones is here, but I know it's in that side. And I just can't see very well right now to be able to describe it. I think it's the one that is right next to Ana Maria. Yeah, that one was a great, a particular sense of being connected.
Was the skinny one? The skinny one?
She's a skinny one, yeah. She's well built. And I actually had a really interesting experience with Byron. I felt also a good connection, an attraction. I cannot really describe more than that, but those are my two experiences.
Okay. What else?
No, I have to admit I was a little. I don't know what the right word would be. I think it was honestly a bit scared, but it was more like awe, and I felt like a very strong power, like a very strong force from the one that has the cobra head. That was I wasn't expecting it, and I was on like, okay, where's the head? And I'm like, whoa, this is and I don't know, it was like it was really strong, but then okay, it kind of I was not scared anymore. I mean, I was a bit shocked in the
She's
beginning.
Vanindra. This is Vanindra.
Ahimaya, I think
Ahimaya. That's the name.
is the name, and she has this cobra head that is very unusual. And I took the idea from a temple that is the temple in Lokhari. It's a temple that all the yoginis were having animal head, and this yogini with the animal, with the cobra. And you know that cobras are very important in India. They think that if you see a cobra, is so good luck, is protected. Those are protectors of the body, of the temple. And this Ahimaya has to do with a little bit with the sexual energy, with the energy of renovation, of creation, creativity, because the sex and the creativity are in the same area.
Okay.
I had a special connection with the one that is behind them.
Bhairavi.
Vairavi,
Vaidagi.
Vairavi, she has a dog, a Ruru.
But tell us your experience.
No, I just had a special, like, I can ask her. I'm not going to tell what I asked. I can ask her for something.
She's the wife. Or she's the companion of Bhairavi.
Is the counterpart has some similar energy of Bhairava, and she is the heroine. She has gone through everything, and she has learned from all the experience. So she's so strong that, wow, she's a heroine.
My mother kind of thing.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
Of course.
So who else would like to?
For me, as I have the experience of Yogini as an energy, special energy,
Mhm.
it was so beautiful because while I was touching them, there was like some of them had like a beautiful light, and when I was to the other one, the light was like a different color, but little more, little less, and then there was there, I think there, just behind her, that one, that one.
This one is Yogamaya, and she is the lingam, the light of the lingam inside you.
Oh wow.
It was so beautiful, really. And then, like, everyone was different kind of like light, and the way how it projected, it was really beautiful. But for me, that was so special.
Oh, great. And Richard, did you felt something?
Yeah, I always feel not for anyone special, but the whole ambiance. I think maybe a little special on the Bachwe because she's from this area. She's really local, isn't she?
Yes, yes, yes.
Tell them.
Is that for those that don't know, here we are exactly under the holy mountain of Iguaque, where Bachue came out from the lake with the child in the arm, and then when he grew up, they create the whole world. They copulate and became the parents of everyone, and they taught the people, the local people here, how to cultivate, how to do everything. And when they finished their work, they went back. They transformed themselves in serpents, and they went back to the serpent, and it's to the lake of Iguaque. And it's interesting that we have three snakes here. Is Bachue, is Ahimaya, and is Panindri. That Panindri is the king of the snakes, and she protects the body, and she protects the sacred spaces, and the body is the most sacred space that we have.
Is that Bachue is the female form and Bochica could be the no, Bochica is the female
It's a
form and Bachue
different-
is a different thing?
I think
Oh,
that
okay.
they are two different stories.
Gotcha.
Different stories.
Yes,
Gotcha.
the Bachue is in this area.
Okay.
And the boy has, I think he has no name. No?
Yes,
No
he
name.
has a name.
Okay.
Yes, he has a name.
The other one I would say is Mahamaya.
Mahamaya?
Yogamaya, yeah?
Yogamaya.
Because she's based on a sculpture from Bangladesh,
Yes.
which I introduced Stella to.
It's very beautiful, and I am very thankful for that.
But Stella, let me ask, how are these related to the cards that you also produce? Are they the same or they're different?
Some were inspired and others just came to be, but some are in the Yoginis Oracle, yes. But which one? Badava is not. Badava, that GT doesn't like so much, but
Which one is
she's so beautiful. She is she's a seahorse. She lives in the most deep part of the ocean, and she has the fire to destroy the world and in order to create again. So she is very mystic and very powerful and very different from all the others.
Yes.
And another that is not in the English version of the Yoginis Oracle is Ambuja. I call her Ambuja, but is based in
Yes.
Laja Gauri. Is based in Laja Gauri. She is, and she is based in the mythology in Aditi. Aditi was the first woman in the Vedas, and she was sitting in this position like they give birth in India, in squatting, but there were no images, but in the Vedas, in the Rig Veda, it says that she is squatting, like giving birth to humanity, to the Adityas.
In many places in the countryside, and since ages, there are sculptures very ancient. She is named Lajja Gauri.
She has the head of a lotus, and she is in a squatting position, but it's because a lotus, because in a pure mind, when you have no thoughts but you have only pure mind, you can create everything. So she, from this lotus head and in the position of giving birth, she gives birth to humanity, and she's also venerated. We were with GT and Richard, we went in India recently to a place, and is still alive. It was in a cave, and she was there, and you could the people go there to ask for fertility, to have children. And it was very, very interesting because next to her shrine in this cave, it was one Ayurvedic doctor specialized in what? In fertility. So the whole range was there.
And it was funny too because there were a bus
Yes,
full of adolescents, teenagers.
girls.
We were going there to ask this goddess
When they will get married, that they will have children. So
It was
it's
a special
very.
excursion to go there. Yeah.
And here I did a little, I asked them to put a moon, because you know that Virgin Mary normally is very often standing over the moon, and they are the genitals is a symbol of also the genitals, is symbol of fertility, of femalehood. So, and she is exposing her genitals. So, and when I was doing this, I got a really special connection with her because I felt like a renaissance, something, a rebirth, something. I felt with her.
For me, the connection was with the one that GT doesn't like. Yes, the one that is like the seahorse.
Yeah.
It was such an unexpected thrill to run my hand down around her, and her face as well. I found very smooth. Just and so different. And then I think it was she's holding like a
Trident?
like Neptune's trident.
Yes, it's a trident.
I will echo what Richard said, that this, for me, this space, maybe more than any other time I've been in here, became like like encapsulated. It didn't feel like I was going from one to another to another. It felt very timeless, and as I made my way around, and then when I came to Bachue, it was like this jolt of familiarity, like, oh, Bachue, oh, I love you. So it was, for me, just that entering into sort of a Kairos time, deep time that just felt very spacious and important as we blessed and were blessed by the goddesses. And thank you. This was really a lovely experience.
And Luchis, you?
I do those. I do touch them a lot, but there were some that I haven't touched, and yeah, it was like a discovery, and I found that the candlelight really helps because they vibrate a little. You feel like they are alive.
And you?
I'd say that I had more of experience with everything and each and every statue. It felt very. It was an energy that I haven't felt in a very long time, like of calmness and like it felt like it was time to like as I was giving away energy and I was getting it back. It was the time to also manifest things for the future, want things, and also give things, and it felt good. It was a good like idea of receiving and knowing that as I receive, I also get, but it's all like it's very balanced. And that's there wasn't one specifically. It felt very strong connections with. I can't like say, oh, with this one I felt it the most because it felt very strong with all Yoginis.
And you?
Well, for me, I mean, as Julian, I haven't really made a special connection with like one of the statues. I was like going from statue to statue, and it was like a really weird feeling, like a very like, well, very unusual touching of like, you know, like a very like strange feeling for me. I felt like going from statue to statue a little heavy. I don't know why, but that's like my experience. But it was very intense, I would say.
And Mateo?
I would echo what Julian said and not really have an experience with a specific statue, more like experience with all the statues, because as I was feeling all the statues, it was a sensation of delicacy because of the material they're made, and you can feel the rubber. And as you're running your fingers through it, not only the delicacy, but also the strength, because they wouldn't move. And so then I was trying to be careful not to like tilt the statue or something like that, but even no matter how much pressure I put, they would stay still. And so it was a sensation of delicacy and power that came through it. That was very interesting.
Delhi, as you said, it was like a rebirth. It's a sense of rebirth and renaissance. I think also felt too. It's very interesting, the touching. I was just thinking about that now. It's not every day. I mean, in general, of course, I'm no expert in these matters, but I don't recall, rituals where you go to temples to touch statues. I know that in India you do certain statues, like the lingams and all that. People go there and
Coconut oil,
yeah,
flowers.
and then you whisper to cows and all that. I remember doing that with Delhi. But in general, like you don't go to temples to really touch and feel the statues, which is very unusual. And at the same time, I think it's a really good way to get to understand what it is. Because okay, I've been here before and I've seen the statues and you see that they're very special and curious. You're like, this one has this and the other one has that, and the seahorse is just very unusual. But you don't really get to, it's really different when you touch them. Like when you go like, oh, well, what is this thing? And the fact that there's not a lot of light also gives that like additional sensory experience of what can this be? Oh, let me see. And when you were saying, yeah, it's sitting on a cow or something, I'm thinking, I don't recall seeing that.
No,
I would have
an
known if that was a
elephant.
cow.
Oh, it's an elephant.
It's an elephant.
Because of the light, it was much.
So the lack of light, I guess, and also the fire moving creates movement. So these statues many times kind of came to life for me.
But I think it would be very nice that you come again and see them with light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But this of touching, I learned about that is a very kind of tantric ritual. It's not common, and it's in order to enshrine, entronar, see that you are, as we have recreated the temple, so we are enshrine the goddesses in their home, and it's why I wanted to do that. I know that in some places they do, and I have never done it, so I wanted to do it. And I thought that it would be nice with us here, with all of us. It will
Thank you.
I
create
think we're
something.
very lucky to
I have a
to have
question.
chosen to be been chosen to
I
do
have a
this.
question, and is why is there only one male energy on the whole circle?
Because the yoginis there are energies that men are women. It's not only that they are women that have the energy of the yoginis. All of us, we have all around in our body all the energies. They call it yogini, but it's an experience inside. And maybe it was easy to express them as female, but Bhairava is the god that is next to all the female energy. When it is a temple of a Devi, Bhairava, even like a stone, like the ones that they are there at the entrance, sometimes it's a stone with eyes and some mustache. And that is Bhairava, and he is protecting the Devi temple, the temples of the goddess. So in the temples of yoginis is Shiva Bhairava, because sometimes it's really Shiva, is not only Bhairava, but Shiva with the phallus erectus, with the penis erectus, and Bhairava is the one that is in the tantras, is dialogues between the goddess and Bhairava. When the knowledge is expressed, it's through a dialogue, and is the Devi and Bhairava. So I thought that.
So he's at the entrance because he's also a protector?
He's a protector. Normally, very often, in the temples of yoginis, he is in the center.
Gotcha.
But the temple of yoginis, every temple is different. It's no rule. There are some yoginis, and sometimes there are not. It's no line that you can say. Mostly is that it's open to the sky, and it varies in number. So whatever you do is good because it's what is supposed to be. Here it was a space and only 14 were, and I wanted to have Bhairava that I was having in Delhi, so he was there. And Giti told me, you should have a local goddess. So Edmundo drew the one.
The model for Bachue.
He drew the.
He drew it.
He
And
drew.
then it was, but all of these are made in India, right?
All were made in Orissa,
Mhm.
and the stone was from Rajasthan. So
I like Rajasthan.
yeah, so that is the story of this temple. That when you were in Delhi, I was having the yoginis at home, and then we were going to move, and I just bought this little piece of land. So I say, oh,
Enlightenment.
we are going to do a temple of Yogini in Villa de Leyva.